Good evening, Advanced Math. We're going to work on coordinate plane word problems today. Let's find your coordinate plane work from yesterday. Turn to the next page. Give yourself a new title. After you do, unpause and concentrate with me. All right. So yesterday, quick review. We made ourselves a coordinate plane with positive numbers and negative numbers on it. And we said this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, and we could plot points like ordered pairs, if you will, like 3, -1. So that we went x-axis first, we went 1, 2, 3 on the x-axis, and -1 on the y meant down 1 on the y, and 3, -1 went right there. Or we could do a point like -5, 2, and that meant back on the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up on the y-axis, 2. So that would have been the point, -5, 2. All right, so we're going to do some word problems today involving that skill just to get kind of used to how this might appear in real life. So let me do one first. A lake is slowly being drained. A hill under the water is 25 feet below the water level at the start. So imagine water level, water, and somewhere down there, there's like a hill underneath the water. And I'm saying that at the start of this, there is 25 feet. It's 25 feet below the water level. So as the water is being drained, the water goes down by 10 feet per day. On the coordinate plane, make a graph of the island's height above or below the water level for the next 5 days. All right. So let me make a table first. I'm going to get used to my info. So I've got days and I've got feet above or below. And so first thing to know, usually when you say when I start, a lot of times we call that like day 0. So like how many days have gone by when this starts are 0. So a lot of times these will start at 0. They can start at 1, sometimes 2, but a lot of times they start at 0. Don't you do that? So no days have gone by and the water is 25 feet, right? So now we're going to start draining. That's why it's 0 and not 1. It's not like after 1 day, 25, after no days. So the water's going to go down by 10 feet per day. So after the first day, after 1 day's gone by, now the water will be like down here. It'll be 10 feet lower. So at that point, it will only be 15 feet underwater. After 2 days, water goes down another 10 feet, only 5 feet below the water. Oh, I need negative feet, don't I? It's underwater. I apologize. So negative 25 feet, negative 15 feet, negative 5 feet, until now. Now the water, when it goes down another 10 feet, all of a sudden my water is going to be, or my island is going to be above water now. So like if you want to imagine how it works, now a little bit of my island is going to stick out, or going to make an island. A little bit of my hill is going to stick out. So after day 3, the island will be, or the hill will be 5 feet above water. After day 4, the water will go down even further, and it'll be 15 feet above. And after day 5, it'll go down even further, it'll be 25 feet above. So in these days, my hill is going to go from being 25 feet below sea level up to 25 feet above the sea level. And now I can plot those ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. All right. So I'm going to do, remember I like to do x is the one you can't really control. The one that goes in increments, like kind of like steady increments, is usually called our x, or our independent variable. And the y, the one that depends on the day, the feet depends on the days, not back and forth. So our dependent variable goes over here. So independent, dependent, And I can plot those points on the plane. So I'm going to need a scale to get to 25 and negative 25. X I can use ones. I can just think of that being 1, 2, 3, and so on. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and so on. Here I'm going to need some kind of scale. Maybe I'll go by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, negative 5, negative 10, negative 15, negative 20. Remember, I was staying on the lines. I'm not, I don't use the spaces, I use the lines on the coordinate plane. There we go. So I go 0 days, negative 25 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 1 day, 15. So I'm looking to make the point, or the ordered pair 1, negative 15. 1, negative 15. 2 days, negative 5. 3 days, positive 5. 4 days, 15 feet. And 5 days, 25 feet. So I'd put my 5 points on the plane like that. Now, something that could happen is we could say maybe it had rained a lot before we even started this, and say something along the lines of this could be asked too. It's weird to think of days being negative. You know, this was my y was my feet, and x was my days. But there were days, the lake existed before this draining started, so there might be a question you're asked like this, like something like, oh, by the way, 4 days before all of this, the mound was, well, 28 feet below water level. Maybe it had rained a lot and the lake was kind of high. So we might want to plot that point too. So it's like saying before all this, 4 days before this day, 4 days before day 0, it was negative 28 feet. So that's like one more ordered pair I can plot. Say 4 days before, negative 4 days, the other direction, it was negative 28 feet. And so I could put that too. Go back 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 28's about there. That's negative 4, negative 28. So you may be asked to put a point on your coordinate plane that is a negative in terms of the number of days, just so you know. All right, that's how it works. Let's do one together if we can. Open up. Let's do this one. Cindy recorded the temperature in Fargo, North Dakota. That is a cold, cold place in the table below. Plot the ordered pairs on the coordinate plane where x represents the day and y represents the temperature. So remember, as we make our table, oh, she has a table. Don't need to do that. X represents the day, she says, and y represents the temperature. So when I make my ordered pairs, they're going to be x, y, 1, 2, like that. All right, so I'm going to draw my coordinate plane. I don't need a real big one. Just maybe do that, because I'm only going to have to, look, none of these go past 6 either way. So there's going to be my x, or my days, and there's going to be my y, or my temp, and we'll just plot those points on the plane. So first day, so notice this one starts with 1 instead of 0. Could go either way. Sometimes 0 is the first day, like starting now, or sometimes 1's the first day, like it just depends on kind of what it means in the question. So day 1, 2 degrees. I'm going to go to the ordered pair 1, 2. The next day it was negative 2 degrees, so day 2 was negative 2 degrees. Day 3, negative 3 degrees, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. I didn't label my number lines. You can or you cannot if you're used to it. 1, 2, 3. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. 1, 2, 3. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do it or you cannot if you're comfortable. Day 4, it was 0 degrees, so that means we go 1, 2, 3, fourth day, and 0 is right on the axis. We don't go up to 1, we don't go down to negative 1, we just put it right on the axis if it's a 0. Day 5 was 1 degree, and day 6 was negative 1 degree. So now we've got an ordered pair for each of those. Now remember, I want to throw one of these in too, just to get used to the idea of negative days. I might say something like this too. Say, for the 3 days before Cindy started recording, the temperature was 2 degrees every day. So I want to add those points. I've just got new points on my plane, right? The day before day 1, it was 2. So it was like on day 0, it was 2 degrees. On day negative 1, it was 2 degrees. And on day negative 2, it was 2 degrees. On all 3 of those days before, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2. On those days before she started, it was 2 degrees every day. So on day 0, it was 2. On day negative 1, it was 2. And on day negative 2, it was 2. So I can add those as well. It's possible for days to be negative if you think of them that way, as before some certain starting point that I picked before. Okay, that's how it works. I hope that makes sense to you. If you need to go back and watch this example again or the prior one again, please do. If not, and you feel like you get it, we'll work on some you-dos tomorrow. See you then.